are like kids, man. I understand totally. Angel, I see your request. And so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let's go to God in prayer. God, we come to you today. We thank you for how truly awesome you are. We thank you for this great community that we have. We thank you for the friendships that we've built. We thank you for the opportunities to work at our own leisure. And we thank you just for the general blessing that you provided for us. I ask that you reach your hand down, you touch each one of these requests that's been mentioned verbally or in the chat, or even the unspoken requests that are in our hearts, Lord God. We know that you know our requests before you even ask them. And we know that you're the ultimate physician. We know you're always in control. And we know that you will, Lord, we just pray that your will be done over all these requests, that comfort will be brought, anxiety will be cast away in Jesus' name, and healing will take place across all these the requests. We also financial requests, Lord God. I just pray that you touch each one of these businesses, that you will reach your hand down, and this November will be a killer month for everyone. Watch over the speakers today, that they will bring forth their wisdom, and we ask all these things in your mighty Son's name. Amen. First speaker today, I always like opening a prayer because it just gets me pumped, man. I love to pray. I love prayer. Christina, God definitely hears your prayer. Diane, God definitely hears that one too. So here we go. Our first speaker today, let me make sure I get the name right. It's Christina Struck. She is going to talk to you about how she caught the vision today and just bless you with some motivation. And anyway, Christina, I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to highlight you. I can't on this computer. Let me try it on this one. But anyway, the floor is all yours. Work with Me Wednesday starts now.
All right. Hi, everyone. And I just want to say thank you to everyone on this. You've shared something with me over the past year getting on these that has helped me in some way. And I'm so blessed to be a part of this community. And I just want to thank you all, and Jennifer Leith, of course, and Emmett and Sarah, everybody for pouring into us every week. It's truly amazing. I look forward to it, and I try not to miss it. I barely miss it, and I love it. So yeah, my story, I really don't have I always think of what Jennifer says, like belief in the product, belief in the company, belief in yourself, right? That's what we're always working on. And really it's the mindset. And that's what changed for me, because I was with another MLM and it didn't go so well. And it really, it took me a while to share publicly on Facebook. I would share with my nail customers because I'm a nail tech. And I was building a business that way, personally talking to people, but I wasn't on social media because I wanted to be authentic. And I felt like I just feel like someone needs to hear this, because I think I still have people hopping in my inbox that I don't even know going, would you want to come to this party? Or would you want to do this? And it just doesn't work anymore. I think we have to do it a different way. And I don't know if any of you follow Kristen Boss or listen to her podcast. They're amazing. And that's what I'm really trying to focus on, is doing MLM a different way, and really, selling is serving. And so I had to change my mind. First of all, social media, I had to learn. I'm 50 years old, guys, and I did not know how to do stories. I didn't know how to do Instagram. I had to teach myself all this stuff. And of course, I learned so much from you guys on, on these power hours. But I had to, everything is learnable. And if your mindset is okay, then you can learn all these things. And to not take things personal, I'm just, going to put that out there, because we get that too, where someone says no, or doesn't have it, quits the products or whatever, and you can't take it personal. And I kind of just say to myself, like, they'll be back, they'll be back. And a lot of times I do. A couple months later, they go, I did feel better when I was drinking pink. And I'm like, yeah, of course you did. So just don't take it personal. So I'm a mom of 18-year-old twins who I'm a semi-empty nester. They just went to college this year, so that's been rough. Within a week of each other, they both left. And I'm so bad about reading the chats, guys. Like when I go live too, I don't read it. I'm just like, boop, focused, because I'm a little nervous. So if you have questions, I could always answer after. But yeah, so hubby and I are home alone. My husband's a retired cop, and now he's a jeweler. So my brother owns a jewelry store, so he works on jewelry. And it's just a little bit different, but now I can focus on my business. I feel like I'm in such a good place. And so belief in the products, what it did for me, like I didn't get my father, I was thinking about this today as I'm thinking about my story. My father worked for like a pharmaceutical warehouse since he was 18 years old. So we never took medicine, like even Advil was something we didn't really like. You had to be a fever, a headache. Even though he knew so much about medicine, and he didn't want us taking it, if that makes sense. Like I thought about that today. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because when I first thought about supplementation, I was like, I don't want to pop pills. Like, I just don't want to be putting pills in my body all the time. But I didn't understand supplementation. And that was my thought. So I didn't know this business would be for me. And I really didn't know I needed the products. But, after being on them for several years now, I started in June of 17. And I'll try to slow down because when I get nervous, I talk really fast too. So let's try to slow down and breathe. And I didn't think this was for me. I'm like, I'm pretty healthy. Like I really wasn't sick, but I was having sinus infections because I'm a nail tech and I didn't wear a mask, especially before COVID. The only time I wore a mask was when I was pregnant. Other than that, I inhaled all the dust. So I always thought, oh, I get sinus infection because I do nails. And I've had panic attacks since I'm 17. I was in extreme menopause, hot flashes, night sweats, like it's helped me so much. And tummy aches, I would get tummy aches often, and it doesn't have. So I didn't think I needed the products, but I really did. And I was always struggling to lose 25, 30 pounds, and I have lost over 20 pounds using Plexus. And so it's helped me so much, but I didn't know I needed it and I definitely didn't want the business because I had been with an MLM that really, I got so much in debt. It was ruining my marriage because it was a big secret. And I finally came clean with everything eventually, but it was horrible. And we are in a company that you don't have to do that. And I don't want to take up too much time because there's two other speakers and we have to work, but I just want you guys to know that that's why people, when we are reaching out, sometimes with the hustle, or you have to build relationships. Just reaching out, I think, is not authentic, and I want to build relationships with people and help serve them, and doing it a different way, if that makes sense. So our company, you can't like you just have to get yourself healthy, and then you can work the bit, like really there's no investment, there's no parties. Like I was doing parties all the time, leaving my children at home. The whole reason I got in the business, so I wouldn't have to leave my children. And I was running around doing parties and going to weekly meetings and putting money on credit cards. Like this company is nothing like that. So my belief in the company is huge. My belief in the products is huge. And then there was the belief in me. And that's what I've been solely working on really, really hard. And that brings us to our dream board conversation, which we just all got together. We planned an event. We have to get back to doing events. Like we went to the Diamond retreat, Daring to be Diamond retreat. And they said, it's time. Like COVID isn't going anywhere, but we really do have to start getting belly to belly again. So once a month, we're getting together with our teams, and we did dream boards on Monday night, and just putting it all on there, because honestly, it works. Like things have come true. I had this is my new dream board, but I had an older one, and things were happening. Like it's really interesting when you're looking at it every day, when you actually put it on paper, and just being able to dream again is such a gift. And I think so many people need that. Like I honestly think of people that are just like going to work 9 to 5, and they're not dreaming about going to Hawaii. They're not doing that. So it inspires me to help them dream again. And so get together with your teams. These, we just ordered them on Amazon. The boards, they're actually really nice. And then we glued them on. And there was also other things like these circle things that we bought on Amazon. And it was just fun. And it was just, a team building experience. And it was great. So I encourage you to do that with your teams and make your own dream board. And I hope something I said helped. And that's it. So I'm excited. And thanks again for everyone for pouring into us every week and sharing your stories. And it's been so helpful for me. And I'm just so grateful.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. I wish we could have been at the retreat as well. But we were able to make it. We unfortunately had COVID during that time,
I
so that's no
know.
fun. But I'm so glad that you shared, and I'm excited because I feel like the theme of the day today is going to be belief, because that's actually what a few of the things that I had written down to share too. So thank you so much for sharing. And let me see if Sarah Marble is on here. She's going to be sharing a little bit as well. Sarah, if you want to unmute yourself. Hey, thank you so much for hopping on.
Thank you for having me. Great job, Christina. I love that. And I'm telling you, what you focus on expands. Having a board like that and just putting it where you always are sitting down to work, eh, having that goal in front of you is wonderful. And I think that's awesome. And I agree with you 100% on the getting back to events. I think that's super, super important. So I was having a conversation with Jennifer and kind of had an aha moment. And I was like, you know what? I really feel like this is something that probably could help so many people. So the first thing I want to say is you guys have to remember, no matter where we are in our journeys, we're all going to have like the mindset stuff, right? So I don't want you ever to get on here and be like, oh, Jennifer's this, or Gianina doesn't have to struggle with this because she's in this place in her business. Like, I want you guys to remember we all have our things. I have things that feel so huge and big and hard for me, even where I am. And it's a daily proactive decision to say, I'm going to tackle these negative thoughts, feelings, and opinions of myself and other things, and move forward and shift. So how do you shift that? This quote that I kind of came up with is something that's going to help us all. I know it. And I want to let you guys know, if you can filter your life through the perspective of gratitude, everything changes. So you might be saying to yourself, well, gosh, you've been in this business for 11 years and you've been on stage talking to thousands of people and you've been on the advisory board and you have the One Plexus Award. I am telling you what, you guys, my brain doesn't care about any of that. My brain still finds ways to say you're inadequate, you're not enough, this is happening, that is. I still feel the same challenges and struggles and adversity. It's just with what I'm going on in my life. So I want you guys to remember that if we filter everything through this perspective of gratitude, everything changes. And this is what I want you to hear from me, this little story. As I was talking to Jennifer, I was realizing I'm not where I want to be. I'm very driven. I'm very focused. I'm very hard on myself. I've got big goals for my position, my second position. I work my husband's position. Like every single month, I regroup, reset, refocus, and set new goals. And in full disclosure, every month lately, I don't hit those goals. I still keep showing up. And here is why. So I have a 17-year-old. Gosh, I heard her talk about being an empty nester with two 18-year-olds. And I'm like, all of a sudden, this is all happening. So this last week, it's pay for the senior trip, pay the application fees for all the colleges he wants to apply to. We're going to his state championship for swim team, where I hope they'll win another state champion, order the t-shirt, sponsor the team. Like, I promise you, I have written over $1,500 in personal checks just in the last 14 days. And guess what? I never checked my bank account one time. I'm not saying that to brag. I am saying that to let you guys know that 11 years ago, I wasn't thinking about having babies in college. I wasn't thinking about all of the things that would come up, but I want you guys to know that when I filtered my overwhelm of kids and things and applications and, trips and all of this, the blessing and the gratitude that I can have for this financial opportunity with Plexus, when I shifted my perspective to the abundance of, I might not have the number I want in my back office for the goal I didn't hit, but that number in my bank account still exceeds my wildest dreams. And I can write those checks for my son. Now, this is just coming up as I'm speaking to you guys. I'm a twin, and I have a little sister who's 1 year younger who skipped her junior year, which meant for my parents, there were 3 of us that graduated together. And I vividly remember the conversation sitting in our living room and them saying, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to send you on your senior trip. Now, I never felt like I missed out. I understood that my parents were hardworking people, and we had gratitude for the fact that we were amazing seniors who were looking forward to college, which we all worked our butts off. We all got full academic scholarships. So the financial thing wasn't an issue. I didn't go on my senior trip, and I just wrote a $690 check. So my senior can go live it up for 2 days at Disney and Universal as a senior. Filtering, whatever that is, however you can apply that to your life, when things feel hard or challenging or overwhelming, or I can't do this, or my goals are not being realized, my vision board sits there and it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. I want us all to take that daily practice of, this is what feels hard and not attainable, but where can I sit for 5 minutes in gratitude? And it's as simple sometimes as, I have a house, right? I didn't have to wonder if I could go buy groceries. Like, it can boil down to the simplest thing, because I promise you, there are people in your life right now who got an electric bill that was more than they bargained for, and they don't know how they're going to pay for that extra, because there is no extra coming in. So when we get together for these power hours, it's not so we can cold message a whole bunch of people and hope that they buy our holiday collection, right? It's so we can give the gift of health, hope, and happiness, knowing that this opportunity and these products can unlock things that we can be grateful for. When we jump out of bed feeling our best, mixing our collagen and our greens in our coffee, there are some people who are not jumping out of bed this morning for whatever reason. So you know what? When I tell you for 5 minutes, we're going to be quiet and write down our gratitudes, it could be as simple as, thank you, Jesus, I jumped out of bed today, ready to tackle my day. Knowing that it can be as simple as that. And when I have practiced, we have a, let me tell you what, shake, coffee, collagen, greens, you name it, that little like stir thing, put it all in there. It's amazing. Usually I did it different today. I usually do it backwards. I usually do my shake, and then anything I can dump into my shake, I'm just throwing it in there. Like, you name it, I'm just throwing it in there. But when we can filter, I had a processing moment on the porch, on the new swing with my husband, saying, I feel inadequate. I feel like I'm not serving my team. I'm not hitting these huge goals that I keep setting up. But then I have this moment of filtering it through the perspective of, but look what I do have. Look where I am. Look, and everything changed. And I had to take a deep breath and give myself just a little bit of grace for the unmet goals and the unmet expectations and me being hard on myself. And everything changed. I jumped off that porch swing, ready to share health and happiness with more people, remembering that I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot further than I was when I started. And I'm where a lot of people really want to be. So we are going to take 5 minutes, and this is your first task, and then I'm going to turn it completely over. We are going to take 5 minutes, and I want to encourage you guys, get a pretty notebook. Get a specific gratitude journaling journal. If not, grab a piece of notebook paper. But if you ever get to a place where you feel like I throw pity parties, I know how to whine with the best of them, go back and flip through a few pages of that journal. I actually was on Erin Condren yesterday filling up my cart with notebooks and journals and new planners for next year and all of that. Doesn't have to be fancy, but 5 minutes. What are 3 things that you love about your town, your environment, like where God has you right now? And you can put it in your journal if you want to. If you want to throw a few things in the chat, that's fine too. I'll let you know. A few years ago, I wasn't feeling so grateful about things where we were. I was like, I don't know if this is where I want to be. And now, right now, it's all shifted. My kids are all playing sports. They all have amazing friends. They've got social lives that I can't keep up with. I'm grateful for the town we're in and the private school I can afford to send them to, because life feels full and happy right now. So what are 3 things that you love about your town, your area, your neighborhood? Maybe you've got sidewalks. You can walk your baby and push the stroller without worrying about getting hit by a car. I see you waving at me. He's like, yep, I want to ride in my stroller safely. That's something to be grateful for. There's a lot of people who live in a neighborhood or who live on a street and a road that isn't a neighborhood. So maybe the fact that you're in a neighborhood can be something that you're grateful for. And then list 5 things that you love about your home. I don't know about you, if you're not currently living in your dream home that you just built, which we just moved into this year for us. I can still think about a lot of things in any house that we've lived in. I loved my first apartment when I was a newlywed, right? I can think about 5 things that I was truly grateful for with that home. Heather, yes, my parents live 3 minutes away, and that's the biggest blessing and the main reason that we're all staying right here where we are. That's a huge thing to be grateful for. And so then the last thing that's going to be the hardest for you is I want you to think about 3 talents or qualities or parts of your personality that you're grateful for. You know what? Maybe you might be thinking, I'm an introvert and that works against me, and I'm really annoyed that I don't handle people well. Flip that around. Maybe you can say, you know what? I'm so grateful that I'm an introvert and I work really well one-on-one with people, and that serves me well in my business. Try to think about it as something that you're grateful for, as some of those strengths that you have and qualities that you have. So 3 things you love about your town, area, or neighborhood, 5 things you love about the home environment that you have, and then 3 talents or qualities that you're grateful for. And I'm going to leave you with this, and we'll take just 2 or 3 minutes, and then Gianina, if you want to just take it over whenever. What if we were to filter life through the perspective of gratitude? Would that change everything? That's all I got for you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for all of that. And I would love to hear what some of the things people wrote down are in the chat, some of the things that you're grateful for. I know for me, sometimes it's the hardest to come up with the things that you're grateful for that are inside of you. And I was having this conversation with a friend yesterday, and she's like, I'm just so down on myself, and I don't see the value in myself, and all these things. And I said, when you don't see the value in yourself, you're not seeing the value of God that's inside of you. These are gifts that He's given you and talents that He's given you. And there's so many beautiful things. And, imagine giving your child this gift, like for Christmas, Christmas is coming up. Imagine giving them this gift that they've been wanting, and they're like, it's just not really for me. Like, this isn't really what I wanted. I wanted that gift over there that person has, not having that gratitude, and recognizing the gifts that you have. Like, that's so important. So I really love that. And I'd love to hear what some of you guys have to say as well. So for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Gianina, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And I wanted to share with you guys today. It's crazy because a lot of the things that I wrote down are things that were kind of talked about. And so I love it because God wants to share something with you guys today about belief. Like, that is just the theme, belief and mindset. And I think that Sarah and Christina did an amazing job talking about belief in yourself and also belief in your opportunity and products. So I want to talk about one belief that I think really hinders. It could either make or break your ability to thrive in this business, and that is your belief about other people. And I know that Sarah touched on this a little bit as well, but I wanted to share why that's important, because so many times, and I know I've done this in the last 6 years in this business, we make excuses for why other people are successful and we're not, why they have this and we don't. So I want you guys to do something real quick. We're going to play kind of like the Never Have I Ever game. And I want you guys all to put 5 fingers up, okay? I want to see your beautiful faces, and I want you to put 5 fingers up. And every time that you have said one of the things that I'm going to say, I want you to put a finger down. The first one is, she's successful because she has a huge following. If you've ever said that, put a finger down. She's successful because she has no kids. She has all this free time. She has no kids. Of course, she has the time to do everything. The next one is, she's successful because she has kids and she has a built-in mom network and she has all these people that she can talk to. Next one is, she's successful because she's prettier. She's successful because she's skinnier. Okay, those are all things I've said. She's successful because her husband is supportive. That's another one that I've said. She's successful because she has more money to invest in training. She can invest in a personal helper. She can invest in somebody to do all the things for her. And she's successful because she started sooner. Okay, I see a lot of fingers down. If you have more than 1 finger down, this is what's holding you back in your business right now. This is exactly the reason that you are not hitting your goals, because you're making excuses as to why these people have these things that I don't. I watched Sarah put some of her fingers down, and she is a diamond, you guys. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned going from brand new to Emerald in this business is, nothing changes because you hit a rank. Nothing changes because you hit emeralds. Nothing change. You're not going to magically know how to have people skills. You're not going to magically know how to manage your time. You're not going to magically know how to train a team. Like, that does not come with rank. That comes with you just learning and growing. And the same excuses that you make for yourself as a silver, if you continue to make those same excuses for yourself as a ruby, senior ruby, emerald, those are the same things that are going to hold you back. And I know for me, one thing that I used to say all the time is, I went through a really bad divorce, like my second year of my business. And I remember saying things like, well, when I get a better phone, because I didn't have a good phone at the time, when I get a better phone, I'll be able to take better pictures and I'll be able to make better content. And when I have an office, then I'll host power hours. And when I have a prettier house, I'll be able to take better pictures. And when I have all these things, I'm going to be successful. And guess what happened? I got the better phone and I still wasn't taking the pictures. I got the office and I still wasn't doing the power hours. I got the house and I'm still not like doing all these things. And so if you're constantly waiting for that moment when everything's going to fall into place for you to be able to create content and work your business and do the things, then you're never going to move in your business. And if you're going to constantly look for why other people are successful and you're not, I love Sarah's perspective shift of gratitude, because it really makes us focus on, like, what do I have that is the reason that I'm going to be successful in this business? what has God given me that's going to be the reason that I can move forward and grow in this business? Not why can I not, but why can I be successful in this? So the first thing that I want us to do is we're going to spend 15 minutes building belief. And we are going to go to YouTube. I want you guys to go to the Plexus Worldwide official YouTube channel. And I want you to scroll through the Diamond documentaries until you find one that you connect with and watch that whole documentary. They're all about like 7 to 10 minutes. So that's why I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes so you have a little bit of time to find one. And I want you guys to share the link to the one that you're watching in the chat if you're able to. Give people some more ideas, have people be able to save them and watch them too. But your belief in this opportunity is so important. And I had a girl the other day that I was talking to, and she said that she feels like because she went backwards in her points and because she went backwards in her pay, that she shouldn't be talking about the financial side and the business side. And first of all, if you've added one ambassador and if you've gone silver, you know what it takes to be successful. That's exactly what it takes to be successful in this business. If you have ever, earned a paycheck, you know how to earn a paycheck. And so don't think about, well, I was there and now I'm here and I've gone backwards. Think about, I've proven to myself that I know how to get there. I've proven to myself that I know how to do the work, and I've proven to myself that I have what it takes. So we're going to spend 15 minutes building that belief. Go to the YouTube channel and watch some Diamond documentaries, and feel free to share those Diamond documentaries in the chat as well. Okay, so I hope that you guys all had an awesome time watching some diamond documentaries. This is honestly something that I would do every single day, especially if you're struggling with belief in the business. And you can find these in your back office and Plexus, in your back office as well. There's actually more diamond documentaries back there. So you can check out either YouTube or the back office and find those. So the next thing that we are going to do is I wanted to read this verse that I was thinking about. Last night we were in another meeting and we were talking about how, in order to receive something, we need to release some things. And I think so many of us right now are in this season where, we want to receive different blessings. We want to receive the ability to work our businesses differently. We want to receive, 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 and we're hanging on to insecurities. We're hanging on to fears. We're hanging on to unfinished projects. We're hanging on to beliefs that aren't serving us. And we're hanging on to things that aren't going to help us grow in our business when we need to be receiving instead. So I want to read this verse. It's John 15:2, and this is the New Living Translation. It says, "He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more." So we have to release even the good things sometimes in order to receive greater. So I want us to do a 10-minute brain dump. If you've never done a brain dump, basically what that looks like is everything that you have on your plate, everything that you have to do. We're just going to spend 10 minutes writing everything down. So if that's laundry, if that's meal prepping, if that's reaching out to your team, if that's checking your perks reports, I want us to spend just 10 minutes writing down every single little thing that we have to do. And then we're going to organize those and prioritize those, and kind of have a couple of tasks after that. But I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. And when you guys are done with your brain dump, if you finish a little bit early, feel free to let me know. That scripture, Tia, is John 15:2. And that was in the New Living Translation that I read. So, all right, setting my timer. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to spend just a couple minutes highlighting the most important things on our brain dump list. I want you guys to highlight your top three and then your easy three. Your easy three is going to be tasks that you can knock out pretty easily, things that aren't going to take a lot of time. And then I want you to highlight your next three. So your top three, maybe put a little star next to it, and then your easy three, I'll put this in the chat too. And then your next three. So just a couple minutes doing that. And then we will get back here. Feels really good to just get everything out there. And I know for me, once I wrote everything down that I had to do, it made it a lot less overwhelming. You would think that it would make it more overwhelming, but it made it a lot less overwhelming because it's like, okay, now I can organize this into what really needs to get done, what's the most important thing, and then what are the things that aren't so important that I'm kind of just cluttering my mind with busy work and cluttering my mind with, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, and it's not really stuff that's that important that needs to get done. So just cross those things off your list. One thing that my upline does that I really love is instead of making daily to-do lists, she does weekly to-do lists. And I love that because sometimes, we have all this stuff we need to do in a day. And when we don't get it done, we get discouraged and we kind of are like, oh, well, that was a waste. I guess I'll try again tomorrow. And then the next day we get discouraged and we don't finish everything for that day, and then it just becomes this cycle of like not even trying or not putting in as much effort or not doing things to the fullest. And so having a weekly to-do list and organizing them by importance is super, super important. And I love having the easy three sprinkled in there because sometimes we just need a little bit of a break from the hard work and do something that's a little mindless and easy and then get back to the hard work. So make sure you're sprinkling those in too. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, this is very, very important. So I don't want you guys to hop off yet, but the most important thing I feel like we're going to do is we're going to spend just 10 minutes making a list of 100 people. And I know that sounds really crazy. Some of you guys might be like pros at making lists of 100 people. Some of you guys might be like, I don't even know if I can make a list of 20 people. So I want you guys to make a list of 100 people, and these are going to be our people that we are going to focus on this month. If we do, let's say there's 13 weekdays left in the month, so I'm not counting weekends. There's 13 weekdays left before the last week of the month. So before the week of Thanksgiving, there's 13 weekdays. If we reach out to 100 people, that's going to be 8 people per day that we're focusing on engaging with and focusing on reaching out to. 8 people doesn't seem as overwhelming as 100 people. So breaking it down by day really helps. And then, of course, the week of Thanksgiving, we're not going to be able to like necessarily, we want people to spend time with their family. And we're not necessarily reaching out as much on the week of Thanksgiving or the day of Thanksgiving. And then that last few days after Thanksgiving really should be focused on follow up and sealing the deal. So I want you guys really heavily the next 13 weekdays, pretend like they're the last 3 days of the month where you're reaching out to people, so that those last 3 days, you can really just focus on the follow-up and making sure that if anybody needs anything, we are connecting with them. So we're going to make our list of 100. Let's see, I'm looking for the Frank's list. I was going to read these things off to kind of give you a little bit of a jogger of who you can connect with. So it could be, and feel free to write people down as I'm saying these things. It could be friends, it could be Facebook and real life friends. Think both past and present, sorority sisters, your best friends, your coworkers, relatives, in-laws, holiday card list, your wedding invite list, acquaintances and appointments. So this could be like your hairstylist, a teacher, a realtor, a doctor, dentist, chiropractor. And then neighbors, this can be past and present, dog walkers, mom friends that you've met at the park. And then kids, so this could be your school directory. I don't recommend just going through your directory and reaching out to everybody that way, but people you've built a relationship with. Dance moms, teachers, kids activities. And then ways that you can grow your network. I'm just going to share a little bit about this quickly while you guys are writing this down. I love growing my network on Facebook groups. I know I feel like that's maybe a little bit outdated, but it's still what's working for me. I am a part of a lot of local moms groups, and that's very beneficial because you're meeting people in your area that you can meet up with for coffee. You can meet up and hang out with them. So I'm a part of those groups, and I interact in those groups at least 2 to 3 times a week, so that people know my name, they're seeing my face. I'm making posts, like I had asked yesterday about, people's favorite little holiday town to visit during the holidays, just things like that where you're getting interaction with people. So let's spend just a few more minutes making that list, and I will set my timer right now. Okay, so again, these are going to be your people that you're going to really connect with. I would literally take out your planner today and write down 8 names on each weekday between now and I did it through the 22nd. So not on the 22nd. So I guess through the 19th. So between now and the 19th, 8 names each day that you're going to connect with. You're going to go to their Facebook pages and see what they've been up to in life, comment on their posts, go into their stories. Stories is a really great way, if you're not already using that, to connect with people, because it automatically sends them a message whenever, like, say they're posting about being at the zoo. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You know, was it busy? Was it crowded? It sends them a message. It opens up that conversation with them. So 8 people a day, every single weekday from now through the 19th is going to get you connected with 100 people this month. Totally simplifies it that way. All right. So I had a few other things to do, but we're over our time. So I wanted to just open this up to for questions. Lisa, I saw your question about someone just tried and their site said the welcome pack offer had expired. If you call customer service, they can help you out with that. They can put a welcome pack of their choice in the cart and then have them check out. So go ahead and do that after this call. Are there any other questions that you guys have? I'd love to answer anything you'll have. So yes, today is the last day for your VIPs that are eligible to get the welcome packs to get those. So make sure you're connecting with those people today and offering that for them. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. And thank you, Christina and Sarah, for sharing today and giving us so many amazing mindset tidbits. And you guys, if you haven't done a vision board in a while, I would recommend doing that. I know that's something I need to do as well. Watch your diamond documentaries, build that belief. And anytime you find yourself comparing to somebody else and saying they're successful because of this, I want you to flip the script and say, no, I'm successful because of this. These are the gifts that I have. This is what God has given me. So thank y'all so much for hopping on, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.